Hi everyone, Linda Reed-Enever, and I'm excited to share this session with you on how to create a style guide for your business. We're going to go through the ins and outs of a style guide, what's required, what you need to put in there, and then how you can share that style guide with your people to make sure that your messaging for your business is on brand. It includes things like your tone and all those little things that need to go into a style guide. So come with me as we get to put a style guide together and we go through each of the elements together and what needs to go in there, and you can start putting a style guide together for your business.
We know it's important to have a brand and a style guide for your business. So in today's presentation, I'm going to walk you through our template of how to set up a brand and style guide. And we've included a copy of this template for you so that you can jump in and create your own brand and style guide for your business. So starting on here, you're going to be looking at your company name and it'll either say style guide or brand kit and guidelines. In our case, it says brand kit and guidelines because that's what I like to call it, but it's open to you. What goes into a great brand kit is your logo variations and colors, your color palette, those primary and secondary colors you use, the typography that you like to use, your brand voice and your style of communication, the imagery style that you want to have, your brand values and your mission statements, your target audiences and your buyer personas, and the usage guidelines for your brand assets, how to use your logos, your colors, your fonts, etc., and examples of different brand applications such as business cards, letterheads, social media graphics, and your do's and don'ts. The brand guidelines, what can they do and what can't they do with your brand along the way. So the first page you're going to get to is the About Us page. This is a brief overview of the company's history, the milestones, the mission statement, the core values, a description of your products and services and your offering, and an explanation of the company's USP, the unique selling proposition, any testimonials or quotes that might actually continue to feel that look of the brand, awards and accolades, and any social responsibility or sustainable initiatives. Now, you might actually take that over 1 or 2 pages, but that's your About Us section of your brand and style guide. The next one is the Our Brand section. This Our Brand page section of the brand kit is the opportunity to establish and reinforce the brand's identity, provide clear guidelines on how your brand should be presented across the touch points. Your customers are the next page that we delve into, and this is your chance to describe who your customers are, add your demographics, the role, the industry, and create a customer persona. I even like to go this little step forward here and actually include images of who our customers are. Any hobbies and interests, any pain points, and we quite often will name our customer personas along the way. You may have more than one customer persona within your business, and that's fine. You just create multiple pages in your brand and style guide to help you to be able to connect. So the next component is your brand voice. This is the consistent messaging tone that people are going to use when they're talking about your business. So this is the tone. What type of emotional inflection do we want to have? Is it formal? Is it conversational? Is it playful? What's the words and phrases that brand uses most often to communicate their style? Think of taglines, those sorts of things here. The style, the overall writing style of how you structure things like grammar and punctuation, and your brand's personality. Are you out there? Are you fun? All of those sorts of things go into the brand voice as well. So this is where you can go into your tone and a little bit further. What is it? And provide some examples of the tone on the next page so that it really helps people understand that brand voice and then the brand tone along the way. So the casual tone, the empathetic one, and I even like to include some examples here about how we use that tone. Then we go into the words that we use phase. So these are the words that we want to include within our marketing. Some examples could be the power words that invoke strong senses, brand values, the benefits you have, call to action words. So what type of call to actions do you want to use? And possibly some industry terms as well that are specific to the brand's industry or niche that demonstrate expertise and authority. We don't want to have too much brand jargon in there, but we do want to create authority and connection with our people. The words we don't use page is just as important as the words you do use page. So they could be negative words. It could be jargon and buzzwords. It could be ambiguous words and vague words. It could be cliches. It could be inappropriate or offensive language. Creating a list of words that you don't use empowers your people not to use them. And it also shows somewhere that you've documented it and covered it. Then we've got our logo design. So on here, we're popping our logo and the variations that it might have. You might have a stack logo, a simple logo, the minimum space and clear space that should be used, and the usage guidelines about how you can use a logo in different contexts. That's really key to making sure that you've got it. And if you work with a graphic designer for your logo, you should have usage guidelines. They've most probably provided it to you. It's handy just to pop it into this document as well. So logo usage, you can see here, we've got two different variations in the kit and template. So we've got our stacked option and the color options, and then the logo in a longer format. So just showing the different examples about how it can be used, and you can run this over a couple of pages as well. Then we delve into the brand colors, and we're looking at making sure that we put the hex codes in here as well as a color swatch, so that people really understand what the brand colors are. So you'll have a primary and a secondary group of colors, but you might have additional ones that you're happy to use as well. And including visuals is a really handy way of demonstrating how that color palette goes even further, and helps your people, when they're putting together materials, understand what the visual options of images would look like along the way, as well on the additional colors page. Typography is the next one we delve into, where we're including our font choices, so what our primary font is, and what font combinations that we might use as well. These could be serif and sans serif fonts. They also provide guidance on how to include them. So if we go to the next page, you'll see something what I'm talking about here. Our primary typeface is an open sans one in this case, and we've included what it looks like here so people know how they can engage with it. And then you can go into sub fonts and all of those sorts of things. The next component that we want to delve into is imagery. So imagery, what do we want to show when we're putting together flyers and that? So a couple of pages of images in your brand kit helps you create that consistency along the way. Then we go into visual usage, where you can demonstrate what your business card looks like, what your letter card head looks like, what your social media headers will look like, and you'll fill these in with screenshots of what they would look like, what your website would look like. So grabbing in a screenshot and a mock-up of what your website looks like as well, just so that everyone understands what the look is from there. The final thing then of the brand kit that we need to put together is the contact details of who created this brand kit and who's responsible for it. So putting in your name, your website, your phone number, and how people can contact you. So there you go. There's the basics of setting up a style guide. We've included the template for you. We hope you enjoy creating a style guide for your business.